trades, and it was rewritten in the mid-1950s by a skiffle folkie called John Hasted as, well, he called it at that time the streets of London. But of course, a bit later on, that became confusing. So when I sing it, I call it the London Jack of all trades. But he did base it on the Dublin song, but he reset it all in London. And there's a chorus which goes, well, the first half of the first verse is the chorus. So when I sing that, you'll pick it up. Be no problem. You're all intelligent, bright people.
Duh.
The problem is I've got to remember the words.
Ah.
I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trades. If you want to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. I've often heard of London town, the pride of all the nation. So I came here at 17 in search of a situation. I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trades. And if you want to know me name, they call me Jack of all trades. In Covent Garden I began, where I became a porter, but very soon the boss and I fell out, which made our acquaintance shorter. So I drove a number 49 from Waterloo to Wembley, where I became an engineer on aeroplane assembly. I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trade. And if you want to know me name, they call me Jack of all trades. In Charlotte Street I was a chef, in Stepney Green a tailor, but very soon they laid us off, so I became a sailor. In Rotherhithe a stevedore, in Stepney Green a grinder. On Hampstead Heath I lost me wife, it's sad, but I never could find her. I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trade. And if you want to know me name, they call me Jack of all trades. In Downing Street I was a lord, in Denmark Street I wrote songs, in every street and all streets with my guitar I played songs. In Harley Street I was a quack, on Turnham Green a teacher, on Highbury Hill a halfback, and on Primrose Hill a preacher. I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trade. And if you want to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. On Gower Street I'd furniture, with fleas and bugs I sold them. In Leicester Square 2 sandwich boards I often stood to hold them. Near London Bridge I'd lodge in beds for all who made their way there, for London is of high renown and Scotsmen often stay there. I'm a roving blade of many a trade, of every trade and all trade. And if you want to know me name, they call me Jack of all trades. I've tried me hand at everything, from herringbones to hat pegs, but one thing I can say is that I've never been a blackleg. Thank you.